can't sleep, so I figure, what the hell, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go take myself a little motorcycle ride. It's about probably a little after 1:30 in the morning. Kind of walking back down the trail here. Somewhere back in here, I got myself a motorcycle. I ain't had that sucker on the road since last fall sometime. I need to burn some fuel in it. Run a couple tanks through it and take her out and let her stretch her legs a little bit. Well, there she sits. Poor thing's been sitting for a while. Hope she starts up. My cats like to use it for a bed more than anything. Oh man. Put my computer in here. A few trinkets. Hope there ain't no damn rats living on this damn thing. Oh, see she goes. Oh yeah. Still got a tire on it. Alright. Yep. Don't see no air on the back one. So can't see air, it must still be good. There she sits, my little motorcycle. I'm gonna take me a motorcycle trip. Why don't you come along, let me teach you a little bit about something called the iron butt. The Iron Butt is a sanctioned trip and you gotta follow their rules. And if you do it just right, send them some money, they're gonna send you a little patch about this big you can put on your vest. Now I've done the Saddle Sore 1000 a couple times. I've done 2 officially and 1 unofficially. Those are 1,000-mile trips. And I say I'm totally wrong. Me and my wife. We rode the crap out of old Honda Goldwings. It's cheating. You gotta understand, when you're riding a Goldwing, it's cheating. So it's so comfortable and smooth. And we sit and listen to our tunes and sit on our couch basically for 24 hours or how many hours it takes. But anyways, this next trip I'm going to attempt is called a bun burner 1500 gold, which is 1,500 miles in 24 hours. So I'm going to have to keep track of all my fuel. I'm going to have to document the beginning of my trip, which unfortunately I got to drive about 14 miles to the first fuel station, which I'll fill up and I'll get a receipt. And then I'm going to see if the attendant at the gas station will sign that receipt for me. And then I got to crank out 1,500 miles within a day, within 24 hours. And hopefully I'll finish sometime tomorrow night at the same gas station. There's something else I was going to say, but oh well. She's still running. She's got about a quarter tank of fuel in her. Probably got an 1/8 tank of water, probably, with my luck. We just haven't ridden as much as we used to. But I'll chime in every now and then and let you know how the trip's going. We're starting off with, what the hell's mileage on this sucker? This old 2004 motorcycle has got, I got a big old blob right in the middle of my vision from this damn light on this phone. So, but anyways, it looks like it's got 29,500 miles even. Trip's been reset. Starting at 0 right here, but like I said, I got 13 miles or 14 miles I got to go before I can even start the trip. So let me get cranked out and start easing on down the road. I'm at the Alon, 281 and Business 377 in Stephenville, Texas. It's about 2:15 in the morning. Let me put my logbook up. Bike is filthy. I need to take a picture of the receipt and the odometer. Hey there. This is just a test to see if this phone's going to work this way. I'm driving through a podunk town called Morganville, Texas. So far, it's alright. Had something happen to me right off the bat that really makes me nervous. I had a black cat run in front of my path. Yeah, that's right. Of all things, a black cat ran in front of my path. It wasn't even my black cat. And I'm looking real close for ladders. I did my best not to step on any cracks when I walked in to get my receipt for fuel. Speed limit out here is 75 miles an hour. It's just a 2-lane road. I'm not going nowhere near that. I'm keeping in the lower 60s because I'm worried about pigs. Black cat's one thing, but a black pig in front of me would be terrible. Well, good morning. As you can see behind me, the sun's coming up. I am 43 miles west of Odessa, Texas. I left Stephenville. I left the station where I started my time at 2:45 this morning, and it's currently 7:30 in the morning. It's currently 7:30. The sun's finally coming up, which is great because I spent the last 4 hours driving in the pitch dark. There's really not much of a moon, not that it helped. My biggest fear has been running across wild pigs. I haven't seen any, but there's been a lot of carcasses along the side of the road. The ride's been pretty good so far. I haven't ridden this motorcycle in months and months and months. It's covered in dust, which I purposely left it that way. And but yeah, I did check the tires. I checked it out, make sure she was ready to go. So just want to let you know that as much as I'm cavalier or nonchalant about what I do, I actually did check it out. I've been running premium fuel in it because it's been sitting so long, and just in case I had some shitty fuel. But she's running great. I'm filling up about every 140 miles. I'm certain I can go a little further, but that's when I want to start to hunt. That's when I want to start to hunt for fuel. I got an extra gallon of gasoline in my luggage. This is West Texas, and sometimes the distances get pretty spread apart. I'm cruising about 80 to 85 miles an hour. And really, around Odessa, I found if I did anything slow, I was going to get run off the road. Traffic was pretty thick, but it was all pickup trucks and work trucks. Now that I've gotten away from there, it's thinned out, and it's more automobiles. But still, the posted speed limit is 80 miles an hour out here. So you're going to be getting on down the road if you're driving out here and staying with traffic. When you're doing an iron butt, you really want to avoid traffic. You want to have some good posted speed limits, and you really want to avoid big cities. This western route, going from my place in Stephenville to the Arizona border, taking Interstate 20 and Interstate 10. The only big city is El Paso, and that should be all right. I skirt Las Cruces, but that's it. And I just went through Midland, Odessa. There's a lot of traffic, but it wasn't. I mean, everybody's moving on down the road there. Tell you a little bit about the iron butt. If you're running an iron butt, you gotta, if you want a sanctioned iron butt, you got certain rules you gotta follow, certain guidelines. Getting around a car. He's lollygagging about 78 miles an hour. Let me get on around him. So every one of your fuel stops, you need to get a receipt if you can, but I believe technically you can take your pictures of the fuel station, the pump, how much fuel you put in, and just document it photographically. But the iron butts I've done before, really before cell phone cameras were so good. You documented your start of your trip with a signature and a telephone number, name and telephone number of somebody who attest to the fact that you started your trip from that location at that time. Get a receipt from the start of the trip, and then every stop you get a receipt. Every time you make a change in direction, find somewhere to stop and get a receipt, even if it's just buying a package of gum. And you basically just document the trip that way, and which I'm doing. I'm going to take a break and drive for a little bit. Station somewhere out in West Texas, but I can tell you one thing, I've been here before. Really wasn't going to stop here, but kind of nostalgia kind of got me to pull in. Our wife and I's first iron butt was from Stephenville to Pecos, or out to where I'm at right now, and then to the Houston area. This is where we made our turn. So I figured I'd pull in since I've been here before. Get my receipt. Everything's going good. I'm running the shit out of this old bike. Hopefully she'll keep at it. inspection station. See with y'all. I'm tired. I think I'll go home now and wash my bike. I just left Lordsburg, New Mexico, and I've turned around and I'm headed home. I've got about 20 more miles on my odometer than I need. Still might not be enough. They say jack bikes can be off. When I get closer to my turn off the interstate to actually go home, it'd be Highway 281, I'll Google it and I'll figure out how far I am and if it's correct. It should be correct, but for some stupid reason, my Google, I tried to tell my phone to take me, I tried to tell my phone GPS to take me home, and it always gives me directions and the distance and everything, but for some stupid reason it's not doing it. I don't know if it's because I'm in New Mexico or what. Anyways, that's kind of a bummer. I was at the gas station. I just was telling it to go home, and it was should have gave me how many miles it was, but it wouldn't do it, and I wasn't going to sit there and jack with it. Sorry that the camera's bouncing, got a little crosswind. I'm about an hour ahead of schedule. Actually, I'm 2 hours ahead of schedule. It's 7:15 in the evening. The sun is starting to go down. I've got about 7 hours left on my trip. As of right now, I'm 30 miles west of Monahans, Texas. I rode with a couple of motorcycles for a little bit. They actually passed me in El Paso. They must have stopped off somewhere. Because they wound up passing me again 100 miles later. I decided to keep up with them. They're running close to 90. Because I was kind of daydreaming and slowing down too much. A long time ago, my wife and I tried a 1,500-mile iron, but we left Stephenville, Texas, and we're headed for Bethel, Pennsylvania. The problem was we had a flat tire in Jackson, Tennessee. And that really wasn't that big of a problem because I planned for it in a way. I actually had a spare rear tire and rim on the trailer I was pulling. Unfortunately, it never dawned on me that since Honda made the rear tire of the 1800 change out like a car tire, I just naturally assumed there was a lug wrench on the bike, but there wasn't. So we went to a tire shop, and they were getting a delivery of tires at the same time, so we're able to lift the bike up on his lift gate and change the tire and get back on the road. We didn't do 1500 that day, but we did 1100. Our trip ended in Bristol, Virginia. We're doing real good on that trip. We try to fill up at every 140 miles. I pull up to the pump, take the key out, pop the lid on the tank, fill it, close the lid, and off we'd go. On every third fill up, I'd fill the tank, she'd go to the bathroom, then I would go to the bathroom, and she would get some sandwiches out of a cooler we had. And we had all of our fuel stops mapped out ahead of time. One little note there, if you try doing that, map out the fuel stops. There's one fuel stop we totally messed up. It wasn't a big problem, but it was on the opposite side of the highway, which we were trying to avoid. So anyways, that's how I fuel up when I'm doing the iron butt. Haven't done too well at it on this trip. Had to run in and get receipts. And it's been kind of, my fuel stops have been kind of dragging. But it looks like I'm ahead of schedule, so we'll see how that goes. All right, let's talk about this trip, and let's talk about riding in general. I've got a odometer. I've already crossed 750 miles for my trip home, and I still had about 19 miles to the fuel station, and then I've got 15 miles from home to home from there. I can't document home, but I'm still going to send it because, damn it, that's part of my frickin' ass 1,500 mile day. But anyways, I should have it regardless. They say the Jap bikes don't quite, they're off by about 5% or something. But I drug this out on Google before I left, and I should be good. If not, oh well. But I should be good. I'm not racing down the road. This is my home stretch. It's kind of narrow, a lot of trees, a lot of woods. I sure as hell don't need to hit a pig or a deer this close to the finish line. I was passing a semi today, and I was just about to his rear duals on his trailer when I saw a tire tread laying in the road directly in front of him. I was in the left-hand lane, he was in the right-hand lane. And the truck in front of him swerved to go around it, so he swerved in the left-hand lane. And thank goodness this trucker was paying attention and knew I was there, so he hit it head on. And I really wanted to kind of thank him for doing that,
because he wasn't paying attention. He could have swerved and pushed me off the road. But he hit it head on, and for an instant there, I was wondering what's going to happen to that tire tread. So we were both braking, and I was braking kind of hard because I didn't know where it was going to fly out from underneath the truck out, you know. And then when I realized I could get past him, because it was kind of beating around underneath there, it was all happened real fast. I punched it and got around it, but I hesitated at first because I didn't need that big sucker come flying out the side of the truck and getting me. That would probably kill me. I've got 769 miles on this thing, and there's a Stephenville sign. Hopefully, I'll pull out my Google, and if I look like I'm short, I'll make sure I trace it to every damn gas station, every little blit, you know, you got to go off and turn here, and it all adds up. So, but I think I'm good. I'm going to go to the gas station I started at. I'm going to get the attendant, Jesse, to sign me a piece of paper. I'm home, buddy. I'm home. I feel great.